you sleep, don't forget to like and subscribe. For the best experience, use headphones and turn off a stable volume on YouTube. Now, please enjoy the video. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you are, I hope that you're alright. Welcome back, my beautiful people of the internet, to another Pale Slate ASMR video. I hope you all are doing very, very well. I come to you with a gift. Slightly late, about 4 months late, but I've had a lot of fun with the last few videos doing things around my favorite games of 2024. So I thought it would only be fitting to do my most anticipated games of 2025. Everybody does their top 10 games of the new year, but only I have the genius plan to do it 4 months into the year, after 2 of the games have already released. So, please ignore that it is April. Let's dive right on into it. I got 10 games that I options than just a sword and a bow. I am a little worried about the sort of survival elements, the scavenging and crafting type elements, because I know so many games nowadays just put that in and don't really do much with it. But I've been reading some of the early reviews, and they say that the size of the game is pretty perfect. It really seems like it's a great mix of the RPG character building, world exploration, and survival elements without leaning too heavily into one or the other in a way that's, overbearing or overplayed in the modern game space. So apparently it's only about 15 hours or so to beat the main story and explore a lot of the game. So honestly, I think that's the perfect size. Gives me a couple of weekends, a couple of weeks to play it. But so super excited for this one. Hopefully it is as good as the reviews have been coming out. Alright, my third game that I am looking forward to this year is South of Midnight. Now, I'm super excited about this one because I love every part of this game's aesthetic. I love the art style. I love the animation choices. I love the world design. I'm especially in love with the music and the lore as someone who grew up listening to the blues and appreciating the tall tales of the American South. So, a lot of things that really appeal to me here in terms of the world itself and the game's theme. I am a little interested to see how engaging the gameplay is. When I first saw this game, I thought it was going to be more of a Souls-like, which I don't particularly enjoy combat mechanics and difficulty in Souls-likes. But as they've revealed more gameplay, I think now I think there's a lot more action, adventure, and platforming mechanics than I initially thought. I have heard from some early previews that the gameplay is a little lacking, but there are plenty of games out there that other people didn't enjoy that I've absolutely loved, even with these sort of lacking gameplay mechanics. If I'm being completely honest, my main fear is really just the developer, Compulsion Games. Now, they aren't a bad developer by any means, but I have a personal history with them where they've created game worlds that really caught my attention, but when I actually played the game, I was pretty disappointed because they had some questionable design choices in the mechanics. We Happy Few was one of those games where I was super excited for it because I loved the theme and I loved the story that they were telling. But after I played it, I learned it was a procedurally generated open world survival game and not a sort of linear style BioShock alternative that I'd hoped for. So hoping that doesn't happen this time. So Compulsion Games is putting a lot of faith in you right now. It helps that I get it on Game Pass. Maybe I'll make my Game Pass list next year. Who knows? My next game is Grand Theft Auto 6. Now, this one feels like a little bit of a cop-out because, come on, it's Grand Theft Auto, it's GTA. Everybody's looking forward to this. Everybody's been waiting for this for 12 years since GTA 5 came out. But I really am excited about this game because Grand Theft Auto 5 was the first Grand Theft Auto that I really played. Not only did I put tens of hours into the single player, but I also put hundreds of hours into the multiplayer with my friends for many years. This was the game. Grand Theft Auto Online was the thing we would play for hours and just mess around in custom races or just driving around, escaping from cops. There were so many great memories and so many, wonderful moments that I took away from Grand Theft Auto 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. So, considering my history with GTA 5, I'm super excited for GTA 6 because it means more craziness, more madness, more fun times with my friends. I hope. I do know that Rockstar will create an incredible single player that is very engaging with lots of memorable characters. space game, but that remains to be seen. Really looking forward to this one. Got a lot of hope. The Rockstar is going to knock it out of the park once again. My next game is Split Fiction. This one's a little bit of a change from the past few ones. This is a game from Hazelight Studios, the creators of A Way Out and It Takes Two, under the direction of the incredibly confident, incredibly cocky, but incredibly talented game director, Joseph Fares. A Way Out and It Takes Two have also been some of my favorite gaming experiences over the last few years, because they really brought back the idea of couch co-op and how you can tell a story with a couch co-op, a split-screen style game, which made it a lot of fun for me and my significant other to sit down and play together. We had a lot of really good memories of playing these games, and they were both very emotionally charged and had incredible, not only incredible mechanics, but just incredible gameplay moments from the moment to moment to the overall story. Many, many tears were shed. We just got so engaged, so involved with the characters, you know, with the emotions and the storytelling were just so well done. And we just, you know, at the end of it, we were just floored by how good these games were. And everything I'm reading, this one is also another example of one that is already out by the time I'm putting this video out, but still in the backlog. Every single review I've read says this game is just as good as those two. So I am super excited to sit down and play this one whenever me and my significant other have the time to play it together, because we know we will be crying and laughing and just having a blast for several hours as we find our way through what is a very unique story of two writers trapped together in virtual worlds. So, and especially my significant other is a massive, massive reader, so I think it'll really appeal to us. So that's why it's on my list. I'm super excited to get to play it with the ones I love. My next game is The Outer Worlds 2. Oblivion has made it on here twice, but that's because Oblivion has been killing it the last few years. As I said earlier, The Outer Worlds was one of my favorite gaming experiences over the last few years. So it's only right that I be super excited for The Outer Worlds 2. It's another game that really sort of captures what I love about Fallout, but combines that with the gunplay and the shooting mechanics that I really enjoy, plus the incredible storytelling, world building, and decision making of an Oblivion game, an Obsidian game, So I'm really excited to see what The Outer Worlds 2 has to offer. I'll be interested to see where the story goes, considering The Outer Worlds 1 was pretty self-contained. But if there's one thing I do know, they haven't shown a whole lot of this game yet. But what I do know is there'll be memorable characters, and I'll have a lot of control over my character and the world that I create, and I'll get to slay some weird alien creatures. So, of course, that is all assuming that the sequel is as good as the first one. But I think, knowing Obsidian, I think The Outer Worlds 2 is going to be a better game, because The Outer Worlds 1 was kind of a like double A style, not quite indie game, but an attempt to do something different with in the middle of a bunch of other projects that Obsidian was working on. So I'm thinking that the sequel will really just be able to expand, the things that they were limited in doing in the first game based on budget or based on time, or, just within the foundation they created. I think the success of that game will give them the flexibility and the finances to do what they really wanted to do. So super excited to see the expansion of the Outer Worlds universe. Hoping that one actually comes out this year. I'm feeling like that one might get delayed, but we'll see. Now for something kind of on the other side of the shooter. remains to be seen where that's going to go. But as things go into beta and full release later this year, I'm definitely going to sit down and give it a try and see if my Call of Duty skills have made me any better at the quick, fast-paced movement. But thankfully it's free to play, so I'll be able to get into it with no barrier to entry. Alright, a really quick one for this next game. A little bit out there, but I figured I needed to have one little indie gem on this list, and quite frankly, I was struggling to find a 10th game, but I remembered this one was coming out, and it really has caught my eye. Mouse BI for Hire. Mouse BI for Hire. It'll be interesting to see, what this game ends up being, but I just watching the trailer, really in love with the gameplay and the design choices. I am a huge fan of the classic cartoons, classic Mickey Mouse, classic Looney Tunes, those sorts of things. I grew up watching those Saturday morning, and so sort of seeing that mixed with that sort of style, mixed with the Doom gameplay. So I have quick-paced FPS shooter gameplay. It makes it seem really interesting. As with all indie games, remains to be seen what the quality is like if it actually does come out and is as good as it seems to be. But this really is right now where we are in the middle of the indie explosion. That's where you get your fun, unique gameplay experiences like this. So definitely excited to give this one a try when it comes out. Speaking of games to play with my significant other, we have a new Borderlands game coming out this year. So I'm really excited to see what Borderlands 4 has to offer. A few years ago, my partner and I, we played through Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, and the pre-sequel together, and it was a lot of fun. It was just an incredible co-op experience, and Borderlands 2 is a game that I have loved for many years. Played a lot of co-op with my friends back in the day, and so I love it's just a fun shooter in general, but the humor and the characters is just so memorable, and it's so funny. I mean, Tiny Tina, Claptrap, Roland, Lilith, Breck, all these wonderful characters. They're just so memorable. I know that Borderlands 3 was not as good as the others, so I'm a little bit hesitant, especially with which is out where Gearbox's quality has been as of late. But I haven't played Borderlands 3, so it hasn't been ruined for me yet. I do still need to play it before the game comes out, I think, but it's just exciting to be able to sit down and it's the same with Split Fiction. The thing that I'm really looking forward to the most is just being able to sit down and play through this really fun co-op game with the people I love, because those are just the best experiences and the best memories. Also, I'm hopeful that we have some crazy humor and some memorable characters again. Maybe this one will bring Borderlands back to the forefront. I guess we'll find out. I also hope this game actually releases in 2025, because I could also see this one getting delayed. But who knows? We'll see. And last, but certainly not least, we have the new Doom game, Doom: The Dark Ages. I mean, come on, it's Doom. Who doesn't love slaying demons as Doom Guy? Especially when there's going to be a chainsaw shield and you just gotta love, chain together combos with crazy weapons and just eviscerating demons. It's a lot of fun, a lot of fun, and the movement is so fluid. It really is just like such a unique first-person shooter, but a fantastic return to form for the Doom series. I do think the Dark Ages and sort of taking it more towards a medieval style theme will be really interesting too, away from the traditional sort of sci-fi that we've had over the last few games, or I guess most of the games ever since, the original game. So trying something a little bit different from the traditional sci-fi is going to be really cool, and just it's such a unique style. It's like the personification of the heavy metal soundtrack in this medieval sort of style. So super excited to see that one, and of course you don't have to wait much longer for that. It comes out in just over a month from the time of filming and release. So I probably won't play it until the end of the year with everything else that is coming out or has already come out in this list, but we'll see. We'll see when I get around to it. So there you have it. My beautiful people of the internet, the 10 games I am most excited for in 2025. Avowed, Adamfall, South of Midnight, Grand Theft Auto 6, Split Fiction, The Outer Worlds, Split Gate 2, Mouse BI for Hire, Borderlands 4, and Doom, The Dark Ages. Hopefully, I will actually play all these this year, because as we learned from my 2024 top games short, I tend not to play games when they come out. Rather, waiting several months or years, and then finally getting to them and being like, why did I not just play this when it came out? It's so good. But we will see what happens. So thank you all for joining me and let me know what games you're looking forward to as well. So please leave a comment down below about what games are most exciting you that are coming out this year. But I think that wraps up our 2024-2025 games series. So I hope you all have enjoyed these last few weeks of content. And we're going back to our regularly scheduled programming here soon. So stick around. If you haven't already, be sure to give a like and a subscribe. But always remember that wherever you are, whenever you are, whoever you are, whatever you are, always be the best you that you can be. Always be the best you that you can be. Because you are the only you you'll ever be. I'll see you in the next video, my friends. Bye.